Ed Reardon's Week by Christopher Douglas and Andrew Nichols. Episode 1, January the 31st.
Sunday. The last week in January is upon us, that melancholy midwinter solstice for the self-employed writer, just 7 short days and long nights before the deadline for his tax return. On one side of the desk, an agglomeration of bus tickets, receipts for library fines, minicabs, telephone bills, and those mysteriously large invoices in triplicate from the video shop, all clamped in the fearsome jaws of a bulldog clip marked, "Do not remove from Berkhamsted Post Office." On the other side, an OXO tin containing evidence of the meagre returns from Ed Reardon's literary achievements. Well, if you will sit on a bulldog clip, Elgar, what do you expect? Why don't you go and lie down on the papers? There's a perfectly comfortable wall chart of African snails on the top of the pile. Ah, almost forgot. Newsagents' charges. 70p times 365. Well, I better make it 362. Sounds a bit more plausible. 25,003. No, there's smell a rat there. Decimal points. Yeah, £253.40. What the 12-year-olds call a result. Welcome though such small victories are, what the figures overwhelmingly confirm is the stark statistic revealed in the latest Writers' Guild newsletter that 80% of its members earn less than £7,500 a year. This accompanied by the even starker statistic that the membership fees have gone up to £90. But I won't hear a word against the good old Guild. After all, who was it who went to the barricades in 1968 to fight for the right of its members to claim coffee as a legitimate professional expense? No, don't try and drink it. It's hot. I told you. All life lessons today, isn't it, Elgar? Now then, coffee and its additives, milk, Marvel, Sweetex, Armagnac, of course, £452. More than I got for writing the story of beach huts.
Oh my God.
Hello, Ping. I was wondering if we could...
Hang on, I haven't finished yet. Oh my God. I thought you were dead.
No, I just had to keep a low profile for a while for reasons I needn't bore you with.
Ed, that's brilliant.
Yes, as Mark Twain said, reports of my death have been greatly exaggerated. Though I don't suppose he owed 2 years' council tax arrears to the borough of Mississippi.
Actually, it's not that brilliant. I've only just moved your file into the dead client's cabinet. Now I've got to move it all back again.
Oh, really? Who am I next to?
You're between Dennis Potter and the Reigate Poisoner.
Who?
TV play, shagging, miming, bad skin, wool.
Yeah, I know what interested Dennis. Who's the other chap, the poisoner?
Well, you should know, Ed. You wrote his autobiography.
Oh, so I did. Yeah. Oh, that was a grim 4 weeks. Going down to Parkhurst to see him. Took my own thermos there, I can tell you.
Right. Now you're officially alive again.
Yes, and therefore in need of the means to keep body and soul together. Now, Ping, I've heard from my neighbour, who was coming home from Nicosia, that my episode of Tenko was shown on Air Cyprus.
Oh, hooray! In Turkish.
Indeed. So, perhaps when you've finished piecing together that wooden elephant, you could check up on the residual situation.
It's not that easy, Ed. The trunk and the tail are the same size. Look. Tail or trunk? You tell me.
Well, clearly that...
No, shut up! Not supposed to have any help.
You do nothing but cause trouble, Reardon.
Hello, Felix.
We were talking about you the other day. Now, why was that?
He was supposed to be dead.
Oh, so you were. Well, jolly good you aren't, because I've just had lunch with Orlando Duff Davies.
Oh, how's Wombat?
Oh, she's flourishing. And more good news, Ed. Parnassus Publishing wants to reprint your book.
Really? My novel?
No. The reprint in question is that piece of flummery you did about celebrities' animals.
Ah, pet peeve, yes. That's from later on in the canon.
Yes, and it'll need a few tweaks because sadly some of the creatures, unlike you, Ed, are no longer with us. Fallen off their perches, been run over, fatwas, what have you.
How many more do they need?
A couple of dozen. We were going to get Araminta and Atlanta to do it in their lunch hour, but since you're here... and Parnassus are prepared to advance a £5 a pet, so they're very serious.
That's over £100, Ed. Bet you're glad you're not dead now.
Ah, excellent, excellent.
You're in a good mood this morning, Mr. R?
Indeed I am, especially after reading this.
Yeah, you can find most of what you need to know in heat.
There's a piece of extremely useful information in here that Paris Hilton has acquired a second Chihuahua, and there's some priceless biographical material on the pair of them, so I'd better take this. How much is it?
£1.65 to you.
Dear. Still, £5 a Chihuahua. I'm up on the day.
Would you like a half-price Toblerone to go with that?
Well, the answer is yes, obviously, but if you could somehow hide the chocolate element in the receipt for tax purposes.
I hear what you're saying, but it'll have to be cash, I'm afraid. I can't give you any more credit until you pay your bill.
Well, the good news is I should be able to settle up with you very soon. Because I'm expecting a substantial rebate from the Inland Revenue. So, 70 pence, 85...
Hey, Martin.
Hello, Elvis. What can I do for you?
Oh, only if you guys are finished. I don't want to interrupt your conversation, because this is your community, and we don't live here. You do. One thing this shoot is not about is disrupting your traditional ways of life, customs, and
49 to 50. Of course, I could always pay you in human teeth, Martin, since we appear to have become subjects of anthropological study.
Irony, cool. I like that.
Elvis is from the film company.
Ah, yes.
Couldn't you tell from his clothes?
The last time they filmed anything of mine, the job person megaphone was still de rigueur, though I see the reversed cap remains in vogue. What are you filming?
Well, didn't you get the letter?
Monday. It seemed that by leaving my flat at midday, I'd missed the arrival of the first post. Sure enough, along with a circular addressed to Mr. Pizza Eater and the personal letter from Richard Branson inviting me to join in the broadband fun, and thereby contribute towards the cost of his next space motel, there was an additional piece of unsolicited detritus. The letter from the film company informed every resident in the street how lucky we were to be favoured with their disruptive company for the next 5 days, and expressed the optimistic hope that we would cooperate with their production schedule and, I quote, "Hey, enjoy the filming action." Conscious of the short attention span of the current generation of so-called filmmakers, I sat down to compose my response. Tuesday. After 3 drafts and hacking the material to the bone, I had condensed my suitably ironic reply to the film company into a crisp 10 pages. That was a good night's work, Elgar. Now, I'm going to need that large A4 envelope. See, the new postal rates mean that not putting a stamp on this is going to cost the baseball-hatted brigade a cool 91p, plus a lengthy trip to the sorting office. So, stamps, envelopes, paper clips, all claimable off tax.
What about post-it notes?
Yes?
Oh, they're a waste of time. You try sticking them to a box you're putting in freezer. You end up opening all sorts of things you don't want for your tea.
Yes, but Olive makes a very good point. Post-it notes are a valid tool of the writer's trade. We may only be a creative writing class, but we must pursue the goal of artistic endeavour with all the tenacious assiduity of true professionals.
Hang on, I'm trying to get all this down. This pen won't write.
Ah, have you got the receipt?
It's a little one from Ladbrokes.
Then what you should do, Stan, is treat yourself to the finest Schaefer pen. You see, you're entitled to the best writing implements that money can buy, and to treat them as legitimate business expenses. Just as a bad workman will blame his tools, a good one will praise his, then claim them.
I'm still using an osmeroid I won as a school prize.
Yes.
A day in the life of a glove. It's what you write, not what you write with. I don't know what that person who wrote that film they're making up the road were using then. Sounds like a right load of rubbish.
Actually, they're shooting, as we say, just below my flat.
What are you waiting for then? Get out there and cause trouble.
Oh, Stan, that's not going to help the artistic endeavour much, is
I
it?
thought this class was all about making money. Listen, when they were doing Prime Suspect round the corner from me, I kept starting up my leaf sucker whenever they said turn over. That means start filming, you see.
Yes, I'm aware of the terminology after 35 years in the business.
So they gave me 500 quid to shut me up. I bought a tree clipper with it. See? You're a mug if you don't get out there and fill your boots.
I went up to the newsagents this morning to get 3 Hugh Grant DVDs for a tenner, and Shop had had a makeover for filming. It's all VHS's. No use to me since I got the HDR drive.
It must be a period drama. I like them. Life on Mars. Takes you back to a time when life was simpler.
Well, this one's set in 90s. It's all about the Reigate poisoner.
What?
You know, the one who did his neighbours in with Weed Killer.
Yes, I know, Pearl. I wrote his autobiography.
I don't think you did. I got it for Christmas and it was his name on the cover.
Yes, well, I thought I'd better keep my name out of things for fear of reprisals from the victims' families.
Well, shouldn't they tell you if they're going to do something based on your book?
Well, not necessarily, no. If it was a buyout or...
His ears have gone all red, look.
Sounds like you've been taken advantage of, Mr. Reardon.
Want to borrow my leaf sucker?
No, that must be the trunk, because it's got a bun on the end of it. Oh. Felix Jeffrey Associates.
Bing, I understand there's a film being made about the Reigate poisoner.
Yeah, we've got clients working on it. Gonna be mega.
But for whom exactly? Presumably the film company bought the rights to my book, Taste of Paraquat.
They did.
Personally, I preferred my title, Is There Paraquat Still for Tea, but needless to say the literary illusion was lost.
The thing is, Ed, you got a one-off payment. That's why we got your 4-figure advance.
I would have thought that common courtesy would at least have secured me a consultancy fee.
Not according to the contract. Anyway, you are dead.
So's the poisoner dead, so's half of Rivermead Close, but surely there's still money to be made out of these tragic events.
That's so sick, Ed. Talking of paraquats, how many of the new pets have you done?
I got a bit stuck on Trudy Styler's adopted goats.
I can give you a mobile number. Actually, I can remember it. It's 079...
No, I think I'll go in a different direction on that one, but thank you so much for your help, Ping.
Okay, Mr. Grumpy.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I'd better go and try to come up with an idea that makes me some money.
My name is McNamara, I'm the leader of the band.
Elvis, can you deal with that member of the public? I'm sorry, everybody.
Yeah, copy that. Sir, can you be quiet, please?
Certainly not. I reserve the right to sing on my own doorstep. Roll out the barrel.
Elvis on 3. Looks like he's not drunk, but we may have a problem.
The blues on the run. Why do you have to talk into that thing when your colleague in the fur boots is only about 5 feet away?
Sir, let's be reasonable.
Ah, just how reasonable were you thinking of being?
Well, as you may remember from the letter we sent out, this is a movie set in the 90s, right?
Let's just cut to the chase, shall we, Elvis on 3?
Sure. Yeah. Those clothes you're wearing, I don't be funny, but they are perfect period costume for this. I mean, those yellow cords and kickers, you just can't get them now. So, if you fancy being a crowd artist for a day, went and got yourself a bacon roll from the catering wagon there until we're ready for you.
Work as an extra on my own film. Sing, boom, tarara.
It's okay, Elvis. Director's coming over.
How old is he, this David Lean of YouTube? 11?
I might have known.
Oh, I'm really, really sorry, Mr. Mulvane.
Hello, Jazz.
We'll get this sorted straight away.
That's all right. I had to throw this man off the set of Tenko 25 years ago, and here we go again. I'll deal with this, thank you. Give me a porridge, will you, Elvis?
Sure thing.
Get me a porridge?
If you're trying to get 50 quid out of us just to shut you up, this is a new low, even by your standards, Reardon.
On the contrary, I'm performing a public service. Surely the cinema-going audience has suffered enough from your incompetence. It's time somebody stood up for them.
Well, singing Roll Out the Barrel and banging 2 saucepan lids together. Anyway, this is for television. New drama on ITV.
Sponsored by Harpic, presumably.
Ferrero Rocher.
Always rather disappointing, I find. Not much inside when you bite into them. What are you doing here, anyway? As I recall, when I wrote the book on which this is allegedly based, the events took place in Reigate.
I got the location people to find the most depressing suburban setting where a lonely social misfit might live, and they came up with this road. What a coincidence.
Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Mulvane, but there's a choice of plain porridge or one with, like, a fruit berry.
I'll try one of those. And a mocha chocorino no foam. And then we'll do some work. With Mr. Reardon's permission.
So if I'm to understand this correctly, you're using my book, my street, my clothes, and all I get out of this is 1 free bacon roll.
Who said you could have one of them?
Well, the boy with the unnecessary sunglasses.
Sorry, Mr. Mulvane.
Charge him. £4.50. OK, settle down, everybody. Stand by, Robson.
Wednesday. Just as some of our greatest actors, one thinks immediately of Richard Burton, Robert Shaw, Richard Harris, never really valued their art and were prepared to sacrifice it on the altar of money, I'm ashamed to say that I, too, succumbed to the blandishments of the bitch goddess new drama on ITV. £50 in cash to undertake the role of tramp rummaging through bins was too good an offer to refuse, especially as my new best friend Elvis assured me that I could keep whatever I found, except, of course, the crucial empty bottle of paraquat, which belonged to the props department. Welcome though the undeclared income was, it meant there was one less day to meet the all-important January the 31st deadline for filing my tax return.
Right. 74p, what's that? Oh, I'll say miscellaneous. Better make it £3.74.
Hello, Reardon.
Hello, Jazz. It's true what they say. You're never more than 6 feet away from a rat.
Come on, it's dinner time.
I'm working.
What's all this stuff? Cutting letters out of newspapers for your hate mail?
No, I can do that to your face. I'm doing my income tax.
Well, stop all that and let me take you out for a Chinese meal.
All right. You are paying for this. Take it.
He's got the VAT chasing him. He's having to fork out £5 a month for her and the kid. He's got to pay for the bloody stepson as well, and all for one bone cup.
Well, he should have kept his trousers on then, shouldn't he?
And he's over 70.
I bet he wishes he never produced songs of praise now. You want that dumpling?
No, go on. You know, I think they were the best Singapore eels I've had outside San Francisco. Oh, excuse me, can we have the bill, please? Split this, all right?
Well, I thought you said you were taking me.
Oh, I did. I brought you here in a stretch limo.
It was only 200 yards. The car's longer than that. I could have walked through it.
That's another thing you can claim off tax. Limousine hire.
Oh, thank you. I'll bear that in mind next time I want to go cruising Dahood with me badass hose.
Thank you. Got a pen?
I've got a pencil. Haven't upgraded it yet.
Writer without a pen. There you are. No wonder you're scrabbling around in a bin for... How much do they give you?
£50.
Put 20 on the plate, then we're quits. Now look, I'm really interested why you're still living like this. I mean, you're no worse than some of the hack writers I get lumbered with.
That's a prettily turned compliment, I must say.
No, I mean, look at the bloke who wrote this script. Complete moron, but he's got 2 houses, a BAFTA, a couple of kids at Eton, and he can barely read. Why isn't that you?
Yes, well, there we are. Wouldn't do if we were all the same.
Yeah, but do you actually enjoy living like this?
Oh, well, it has its moments, you know. Anyway, you're wrong.
Hmm?
I have got a pen. It's in my other jacket. I put my anorak on because I didn't know we were going to be chauffeur-driven.
All right, okay. Now, I'll ask for my coat. When he goes to get it, you grab a big handful of the blank receipts by the till. Then we can both claim our dinners for the next couple of months.
No, I don't think so. Good night, Jazz.
I think that answers my earlier question.
Hi, darling. Just a ring from the desk of Ping to say I know Pet Peeves is going brilliantly, and if you can send us the new copy ASAP, the publishers have promised to get it in the shops in time for graphs. So extra bonio for Ed if you're a good boy.
Yes, right. Thank you. It'll be done when it's done. Now, where were we? Income, £6,842.83, rounded down to the nearest pound. Personal allowance plus expenses rounded up to the nearest pound, 6,935. Oh, time. Envelope. Oh, stamp. Oh. Ah, here's an unfranked one. Sellotape. Right. Back in 5 minutes, Elgar, with a clear conscience and the Inland Revenue owing us precisely £93. Feels good, doesn't it?
Thursday. Like Pheidippides racing to bring the news from Marathon to Athens. Or was it Ghent? No, that was Paul Revere. Anyway, the gods lent wings to my feet as I hurtled down Berkhamsted High Street in time to catch the last post just as it was being emptied from the box and into the sack.
Can I put this in your bag?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, thank you very much.
Just room for a little one. Ooh, not that little. Hope you put the right stamp on it.
What?
Been cashing them all out, that has. Cheers.
No, wait. I've got to put another stamp on it.
I can't do that, mate.
Why not?
Property of the Crown now. If I was to give you that, I'd be committing high treason.
It's very important. It's my income tax return.
Cutting it a bit fine, aren't you? My daughter got hers in a couple of weeks ago. Can't trust the post. She's got such a good job. Waiting stationery. Always a need, you see.
No one will see you. Can't you make an exception?
No, you'll have to take it up with Buckingham Palace. I think they're all at the boat show this week.
Friday, the deadline for my tax return. With Jazz Milvain's unkind summary of my career achievements still fresh in the memory, I'm determined to prove that, as the 12-year-olds have it, I don't do failure. Because Ed Reardon, being a professional, has never missed a deadline in his life. At any rate, none since Test cricket moved from terrestrial television on Sky. Sunrise found me piecing together yet again the financial flotsam of the previous year, prior to submitting a copy in person to the tax office.
Where's the photocopier?
Photocopier? This is 1992 in here, my friend. No lottery, only 5 flavours of pot noodle. Funny how soon you forget.
Well, I thought they'd finished filming.
We've still got a couple of Robson's pickups.
Oh, have we?
Yeah, just some reverses. So we had to put the photocopier behind the cutout of Gazza on his big car phone. Oh. Amazing the trouble they take over these things.
Isn't it? I just need to copy a couple of pages.
How important is it?
Well, not in the same league as Robson's pickups, no, but it's my income tax return.
Cool, cutting it fine, aren't you?
Yes, I know.
I do mine online. It's much cheaper, and you get an extra week's grace. You can have that for nothing. Unless you'd like a packet of half-price Pringles to go with it.
Ah, human voice for once. Yes, I've been trying to download a tax return from your website, and despite the bold but not entirely grammatical claim self-assessment just got a whole lot simpler...
Friday, 10:40. With time ticking away, I found myself sucked into the vortex of online applications, a peculiarly modern form of torture visited upon the home computer user, whether one is trying to book theatre tickets, claim the free laptop you have allegedly been awarded, or even applying for a month's free access to sizzlingbabes.com. Or so I'm told.
Well, look, I've done exactly what's required of me, my mother's maiden name, first school, and so on, and as is so often the case, I've been brought to the point of gratification only to have the cup dashed from my lips by being told to log on. Huh? Well, how long does it take to get a personal ID? You're going to post it to me, but there's less than 8 hours to go till the deadline. I mean, surely that completely undermines the whole ethos of online, whatever you call it. And indeed, it seems to me that notwithstanding the cheery faces on your website of multiracial taxpayers sailing and pruning their roses, skateboarding in mid-air, the reality is that thanks to your Byzantine system, self-assessment just got a whole lot difficulter. So if you... Hello? No, gone.
Friday, 11:28. Armed with fair copies of my income and expenditure, but lacking the wherewithal to take the bus, I set out on the 3-mile walk to Revenue House, Block 4C, Government Buildings, Delta Road, Hemel Hempstead, the site of my local tax office.
Oh, for heaven's sake!
The former site of my local tax office.
Excuse me, did there used to be a tax office here?
Yeah, pulled down, mate, last week. It's going to be a Tesco Metro, not before time.
Well, for you, maybe.
You need to go to Aylesbury. There's a notice there, look.
Oh, really?
Friday, 1:15. Fortunately, the Silverlink Railway Company is sufficiently old-fashioned to accept cheques, instead of using the damnable chip-and-pin system. Unfortunately, they're not so old-fashioned as to offer a pre-Dr. Beeching direct route for the 10 miles from Hemel to Aylesbury. The journey instead involves a trip to Euston, the tube to Marylebone, train to Princess Risborough, then onto the Chiltern line for the final leg of the 2-hour, 36-minute journey.
Managed to find us then. I'm impressed. It's not the easiest, is it?
Oh, well. I'll just sign here and here.
Best to come in person, isn't it? Especially if you're a bit about the new technology.
Well, I like to do things properly.
Oh, if only all writers were like you, Mr. Reardon.
Well, I have to say, if only all officials were like you, Nicola. You wouldn't believe the trouble I've had trying to get hold of one of these forms to fill out on time. Anyway, I think I've got everything down. And I'm afraid the bad news is that you owe me £93.
OK, let's just have a look. Would you like a cup of tea or coffee while you're waiting?
Oh, yes, coffee, please. As you can see from my claim, I'm something of a caffeine addict.
That's all right. Coffee is a legitimate professional expense.
Yes, and milk and sugar. And I've slipped a bottle of Armagnac in there.
Are you trying to claim alcohol as well?
Well, a lot of writers can't get through the day without it. I'm not saying I'm one of them.
Well, we're going to have to knock that off for a start.
Well, what about that snooker player who couldn't make it to the table without a couple of pints of lager? It's the same thing, surely?
Well, the court ruled that was not allowable. Crown versus Werbeneck, 1987. They teach us that in training. That and Lester Piggott.
Ah, sounds a bit like the Hitler Youth.
So, let's see what else you're claiming for. Library fines? Twice so many pairs of slippers?
Well,
one isn't always dressed when waiting for inspiration to strike.
I'm sorry, Mr. Reardon. You'll need to submit the actual receipts for these so the claims can be assessed upon their merits.
Right, what time do you close?
OK, place everybody, we're losing the light.
Excuse me, please. I need to get into my flat quite urgently.
Can you clear, please, if you just bear with us for half an hour?
I can't. I've got to get a train back to Aylesbury.
But it's the last scene of the film. Do you want to grab a porridge while you're waiting?
No, I don't. What have you done? Where's the door gone?
We had to put a full shop window in front as a loony lives there. Wrote to say he'll sue if his flat appears in shot.
Well, I'm sure he won't. I expect those pages of the letter were just, heat of the moment stuff. Look, I know him, Elvis. He's a reasonable chap. Much misunderstood. If I could perhaps just get in there and have a word with him.
I'm sorry, the set's locked down, so if you just wait till we've got the scene in the cab.
Half an hour, you say?
Sunday. The fine for late delivery of a tax return, even by a day, is £100, which wiped out my rebate, as I wrote in the covering letter attached to the invoice I sent to the film company. However, a weekend of writing, fuelled by coffee laced with Armagnac, even a worm can turn, meant that I was able to meet the equally punitive deadline for Pet Peeves Volume 2. The text concluding with something of a scoop gleaned from gossip on the set of The Reigate Poisoner.
When my new mistress is filming, there are no walkies for Fritz. Absolutely fabulous, I think not. That'll have to do, I'm afraid, Elgar. Press print.
Ed, these are so great. How did you find out about Joanna Lumley's dachshund? Even Atlanta didn't know that, and her mum goes to the same riding stables.
Oh, well, one keeps one's ear to the ground. So, Pink, the sooner you get that off to Parnassus Publishing, the sooner I get my £100.
Right. Actually, because we didn't get it by Friday and because we needed it really, really quickly, Lunty and Minty kind of made up some celeb pets and typed them out in their lunch hour. So
I've just wasted a whole weekend.
Oh, look, I'm sure there'll be a third book. I see you got Richard Littlejohn's Koi Carp. Yeah, Minty copied that out of Heat, too. Ah, that reminds me. I chased your Tenko repeat fee.
Oh, £210. Just a minute. What are all these deductions?
Our commission, agency VAT, photocopying, postage, and don't forget, Ed, you were dead and now you're alive. That's a lot of admin. The system doesn't file itself, yeah?
Leaving me with £8.
Don't forget to declare it.
Ed Reardon's Week starred Christopher Douglas, with Rachel Atkins, Stephanie Cole, John Fortune, Simon Greenall, Sally Hawkins, Martin Hyder, Philip Jackson, Rita May, Tom Price, Nicholas Sanderson, and Geoffrey Whitehead. It was written by Christopher Douglas and Andrew Nichols. The producer was Dawn Ellis.